Hey friends, this is Arpita and you're watching my channel Arpita Brijesh. In my today's video, let us discuss what is an structure of an operating system, which we also call it as a computational structure of an operating system. So this structure of an operating system is nothing but a architecture, how the operating system is designed or architect or how it is structured. So now we know that operating system is a complex software that has many functionalities to be carried out, and hence it may consist of millions of instructions. Hence it should be designed in such a way that it should consist a set of software modules and hence we say that operating system is designed to consist of a set of software modules where each module is interfaced to the user so that the user can access any of the functionalities or data without any hassle. And the user, whatever the functionality the user is performing on any of the module is not aware to the other module. So this property will make the structure of an operating system simpler to design, and not only the design of this operating system is simpler due to this property, but also the coding and testing of operating system is simpler. So this basic operating system structure has led to the different kind of a structure of an operating system, and we will discuss each one in detail. So in the earlier days or in the beginning of an operating system, the structure used was monolithic structure. Monolithic structure. So what is this monolithic structure? So mono in the sense it is single. Lithic will denote it as a layer. So monolithic is nothing but a single layered structure. So what we mean by a single layer structure is, here the operating system would act as a single layer between the user and the hardware. So the operating system would be of a single layer. Whatever the functionalities of an operating system are there, they all would be organized in this operating system, which would be interfaced to the user and the hardware. So whatever the functionality the user want to perform, he has to perform through the operating system, which would be interfaced to the hardware. So whatever the user processes are there, they would be organized in a command interpreter, and the command interpreter as well as the user processes both. So the both of these, like the command interpreter and the user processors, may innovate the functionality of an operating system through the system calls. Which was interfaced to the hardware. So this is how the monolithic structure would function. So there were many kind of problems which arised in this monolithic structure, because on every functionality of an operating system was in only single unit, that is single layer structure, and hence any breakdown in the one module of an operating system would lead to a crash in the whole of an operating system. And the problems that would arise in the monolithic structure are, we call it as a poor portability. Sole operating system had an interface between the user and the hardware. All the architecture dependent code were organized in the operating system, hence it was having a poor portability. This also led to the testing and debugging difficult. So it made testing and debugging difficult, which in turn led to the higher cost of maintenance and enhancement. So this problem led to the higher cost of maintenance and enhancement. So hence this were the two problems which made to search different ways of an architecture or a structure of an operating system. So the other kind of a structure of an operating systems are, one is layered structure kernel based structure and the other one is microkernel based structure. So these are the different kind of structures of an operating system, and we will see what each structure means. So now let us discuss what is the layered structure of an operating system. So we know that the layered structure of an operating system has evolved in many different ways using and different abstractions and also many number of layers. So this describes a multi-programming that uses a multi-layered structure and also a processors as an abstraction in the lower layer. So here we can see that the multi-programming system, which uses a different layers like layer 0, layer 1, layer 2, layer 3 and layer 4, and here the layer 0 system will handle the process allocation to implement a multi-programming. So the function that involves is to keep track of a process state and switching between the processors by using some priority based scheduling. So the layer 1 in the multi-programming will perform a memory and a drum management. That is, it implements a memory and a drum management, or implements a memory hierarchy consisting of a memory and a drum, which is a secondary storage device. The layer 2. The layer 2 will implement a communication between the operator and the process. And then layer 3 will perform the input-output management. Whatever the functionality of an input-output programming are there, that will be done by a layer 4, which will be occupied by the user processor. So these are the different structures of a multi-programming operating system, and these are the functionalities of a different layers of an operating system using a layered structure. So these structure also faces some of the difficulties, and we will see what are those various difficulties that are faced by the layered structure of an operating system. So here in this kind of a design, we know that each layer can only interact with the adjoining layer. So any request made to an operating system by an user has to come down. The user has to come down from the higher layer to the lower layer, so which may lead to the system overhead. And the next one is difficulty in designing. So whenever there is a layered structured approach, so in this kind of a design approach, the operating system faces a difficulty in designing, because all the facilities and the functionalities that are required by each layer has to be assigned in the layer. So which faces a difficulty in the ordering of a layer which requires each other service. And the next one is stratification of an operating system functionality. So in this, the functionalities have to be divided into different parts such that they fit into a different layers of an layered structure of an operating system. So these were the few of the difficulties that were faced in the layered structure. So next we will discuss about the kernel based structure.